Hello. We're going to be taking a look at the Fenix LR40R version 2, which just came out. And we'll see how it compares to the Nitecore's Tiny Monster, some of the other older and newer Fenix flashlights, including the LR40R version 1. We'll put it up against an Olight and see what it's got. Here are your modes and your lumens runtime. If you want to pause your screen, if you want to stare at that for a while. And here's the box. So you get a manual with it, which I never read. And it does come in a really hefty holster. It's got your charging port, gives a USB-C and a small lanyard. Well, it's a really well-made holster. It's not something I'm ever going to use. And, I would prefer something that had a flap over the light. I don't use holsters anyway. We'll say it is a very well-made holster. The light, I don't know, it fits good in your hand. You see the outer ring of LEDs for the flood and the kind of conical light that goes down in the middle for the throw. And there's a $2 bill for reference. And ruler, if somebody's really picky on exactly how big it is, it's approximately that big. There's an in view. Let's see, do I have I guess you can kind of see that if I got a quarter here. There, and that should give you a perspective. It fits well in the hand. It is a larger diameter flashlight than the LR40R, and here you go. And my daughter makes my lanyards for me, so I don't use the ones that come in the box. But there's a comparison. Version 1 on the right, version 2 on the left. Notice too that the switches are different. The switch on the new one is reminiscent of an Olight, and the size-wise is closer to the LR50R now. Bigger battery pack in it. There is the LR50R. So you'd have, there's LR40R version 2. You can see the chunkier base on the light. Again, I always have my own paracord lanyards that I like, but they're very close. See, we'll put a quarter on each, and that'll kind of give you an idea of how close they are as far as diameter of the handles. Very similar. You can see there's still a lot of spill on the 50, but the 40 has a dedicated thrower, and then of course all those floods, and you activate both of those, you get your 15,000 lumens. Whereas, the old LR40 version 1, you would have the 1,000 on the thrower and the 11 on the lumens. Here is a comparison of a bunch of flashlights. So you've got a 6D cell Maglite, then you've got the Fenix TK75. That of course has the 3 additional battery runs, so that thing is just chock full of 18650s. Then you've got the Fenix 80, I believe it's LR80R. Then after that you've got the LR50, and then after that you've got the version 2, kind of right there in the middle, the LR40R version 2. After that is an LR40R version 1. After that's the mini Marauder on the far right there. So here, looking at you've got 2 ports. You've got a USB, regular, I guess it's an A that's out. So if you want to use this for a charging port, you can, or like if you want to use it for a battery bank, you've got a USB-A for the battery bank on it, and then you've got a USB-C in for the charging port, and comes with this lanyard. It's a bit thinner. Like I said, my daughter makes my lanyards out of paracord. But it's a decent lanyard, I guess, for free. Comes with the light. This one, instead of having the different buttons like the old Fenix style, you have, a button selector. You have a rotary to select modes. So it's interesting. It's reminiscent of Olight's controls. So you can run through and just kind of see against, against this surface, which is kind of a matte gray neoprene type surface. You can see the different light modes working here in close range. We will have outside testing in a minute, but this is just cycling it through its modes. And again, you just turn the dial and you get your modes, one for the other. It does have a safety, so if you take the light and you run it up against an object like my hand here, the light will dim itself as a safety. So that's a nice feature. It also has the strobe. I hate that feature on flashlights. I understand it, so I guess a defense thing or whatever, but I don't like strobe lights. So I'll try not to tap that feature. The dial does feel good construction. Doesn't feel anything that's like it's anything that's going to break. The batteries on this, whereas the LR40R version 1, you could just plop 18650s in it. This one is a battery pack. So, I always like it better when I can just have spare batteries on hand. I'm not sure if they're selling this battery pack independent of the light, but it is a battery pack. I have not tried to put any, I think of their 21700s, I haven't tried to put any individual batteries in there to see if they would work. I don't think that Fenix advertises that as an option. So here we'll go to the outside testing, and if you look, you've kind of got a head-to-head between the LR40R version 1 on the left. You've got an LR40R version 2 in the middle, and the LR50R on the right. And there is actually something in the distance, but it's quite a long ways away. This tree is approximately 100 feet from the light. And now this tree that you're seeing just beyond the tractor, that's 200 feet out. So you're seeing how much light that you get there, 200 feet. And then we'll do a pass of a set of trees that are going to range from 2 to 400 feet as you scan across these trees. You can also see how the Fenix LR40R version 2 stacks up against the Olight Marauder Mini and the Nitecore. This is an older tiny monster, but it is a Nitecore tiny monster, I believe, maybe a 4000 lumen. So that kind of gives you some comparisons on those same areas and same distances. And also, here is a comparison of the Fenix LR40R version 2 against the older model Fenix TK75, the one that you saw earlier that had all the battery packs extended out on it, and also a 6-cell D Maglite. So here you can see kind of the differences across the range. Really the one that sticks out as the stinker there is that Maglite. I think they're still around $100 for that Maglite, and it is just overwhelmed compared to the other lights. So, final thoughts. The LR40R version 2 is a very nice flashlight. If somebody had just one flashlight, certainly that would be a great light. Great flood, a great spotlight. I would dare to say I don't have very good distance vision. That flashlight certainly overtakes my vision. It can see a lot further than I can. So, the Fenix store is a great place to get those. Of course, these are all lights that I bought myself. No kickbacks or freebies or anything. So, but in my view, the LR40R version 2 is a nice upgrade over the version 1. The only caveat I would say to that is I do like to be able to just throw my own batteries in there. So I'm not sure if they're going to offer a battery pack or not, but hey, you know, there's a Fenix store and Longhorn Tactical. Those are a couple of places that I know sell those lights. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe.